this is the pre-solicitation phase, meaning this is pre-publication, meaning that the RFP or the RFQ has not been released yet. Okay, so like I said, we're right now we're early on in the process. So you might see an RFI be released by any government program office, and it's important to know right off the bat what an RFI is, and probably more importantly, what it's not. Right? RFIs are not contracts. There are no funds that are ever going to be obligated based on a response to an RFI. RFIs are really nothing more than the government contracting officer and the government program office doing their market research. So the reason that they may put out an RFI is because they may be trying to decide whether or not this particular acquisition is suited for small businesses. There is, within the government contracting world, something that's known as the rule of two. And if two or more small businesses can successfully compete for and work through a particular requirement, then the government should set it aside for those small businesses. So what the contracting officer will be doing a lot of the times in this RFI process is trying to figure out whether or not two or more small businesses can in fact do this. Another reason they may put out an RFI is because they may be trying to determine whether or not anybody else can do it. They may have a particular source in mind, and the RFI is an opportunity for them to kind of corroborate what they suspect is already the case. So it's really important in either of those situations for us as research administrators, and in particular for those of us in the university world, to be able to weigh in and let the government know, that, hey, we've got this capability here. We can do this. That way it's at least factored into their decision. And they know that if they're going to set this aside for, it's going to potentially mean cutting out a particular university segment of the industrial base. Or they know that if it goes sole source, that nobody else that responds to this RFI is going to be able to submit a potential solution set. So it's really important, I think, for us to know why the RFI is out there. It's so that the government can understand what industry holds and what they can do. Generally, that's kind of why DoD would put that out there.
Yeah, so from an NIH perspective, there are pre-solicitation avenues as well for our PIs. Like you had said, Rick, it's very important for PIs to be aware of these, because this is very advantageous for them to get this, a step in the door, to get the information, and also to get ahead of the game. And even especially with NIH, if you have the inside scoop as to what might be coming out, you can get prepared. Now, one thing I will caution, there are times when RFIs, in the case of DoD, and pre-solicitation notices for NIH opportunities may appear to be published. And I'd like to caution our administrators out there that it's not a notice to submit. It's just for information. You're helping the program officer or the committee out there. It's important that PIs know this, administrators know this. So that's why I would caution from an NIH perspective is just know the difference between what a pre-solicitation is and what a solicitation is to submit.
Yeah, it's a great point, Geraldine. And from the DoD perspective, that holds true as well. You are never going to be punished for not responding to an RFI. There are no funds that are associated with it. It's an essential part of their market research. But also from DoD's perspective, at this pre-solicitation phase, one of the things that they like to do a lot is conduct these APBIs, or industry days. So APBIs are advanced planning briefs to industry. And so what they are essentially the program kind of going there and once a year briefing the entire industrial base on all of what their requirements are upcoming for that particular year. Industry days, they're a little more specific to one particular contract usually. APBIs are probably 5, 6, 7 programs at once briefing so that everybody within a topical area knows what's going on. But under either an APBI or an industry day, they're a really great opportunity to get in and to get in front of the government program officers and to have some input as to what the future requirements might look like. It is something where it's early stage. but it's really important to kind of weigh in, because your input early on very well might shape the way that a program handles a particular contract or programmatic effort. And it's easy to follow. I mean, all you have to do is go on to sam.gov, type in APBI, type in Industry Day, and you'll get a whole list of different upcoming industry days and planning briefs.